what was the overarching...
We need to get a dragon turtle, a very large, ancient dragon turtle, alive, though incapacitated in some way, back to here or another place.
You need to get it to
Citadel of 1,000 Pearls.
The capital of the Empire. This is a trade post, a nexus of trade amongst the interplanar planes. Planar, the elemental, whatever the inner plane. Those guys.
And we have a 110-day head start on this being publicly announced.
Yeah.
Now bear in mind, they may be helpful to us, but we can't necessarily say what we're here to do for a while, right? There's some amount of subtlety that needs to happen.
But at least we don't have to pretend to be not us entirely. That got really tiring and trying over our
we can
island
be the
escapade.
Tuesday nights. There's no problem being the Tuesday nights, I suspect. It will be somewhat embarrassing when they don't know who we are, but
But that's okay. But we've hunted dragons and things, so it's not entirely out of the question that we'd be asking around, at least that I would be asking around for, big things to hunt and go. So
exactly.
Yeah, Aaliyah would appreciate just a bit of tact there, but yeah, certainly, there's no preclusions over your names or identities that you've been made aware of or reasons to go, undercover. So you guys spend the day, right? You get there relatively midday. You spend the day getting pampered, having a cocktail, what have you. We can start the next morning with Aaliyah taking from the Palace District up north to the Cloud Giant District. Is that tracking?
I think so, yes.
You head out. It's a bright day, though you see it's entirely artificial. All the light does seem to stem from either bioluminescent algae overhead that kind of casts a very weird shifting aurora effect over the city, and kind of floating jewels and gems that take on the shapes like butterflies or fish or other winged creatures that kind of just flit through the air. Just ever so out of reach, and they seem to provide ambient lighting as well. You make your way through northbound over here. You can see a bunch of very nice kind of civic estates that look like they are kind of fashioned out of very opulent materials. A lot of shined coral, pearl inlays with gems and metal fixtures that kind of just demonstrate civic office buildings with long and overly complicated names. And you can see people seem to have attendants kind of taking a number or standing in line for probably an undue period of time for, a master who's not there. And that seems to be relatively commonplace. You kind of make your way past, break out over one of the many canals that line this city, and you can start to see that buildings start to get quite a bit bigger. And as you are going around, there are quite a few small folk, normal-sized humanoids running around, but also cloud giants. They seem to keep walking about a good 5 feet off the ground or so. Seems like an easy way for them to avoid stepping on a lot of people.
That's convenient. That's nice of them.
Yeah. You can see there is a massive palatial structure over in the back that towers over everything. And those of you that can speak giant would recognize Slarkrethel, or the Sky Palace of the Gleam of Sunlight's Journey.
I'll go large.
Sure. You are still smaller than cloud giants.
Yes, I know, but somewhat more giant in appearance.
Certainly. Aaliyah will jump with a start. Whoa! Oh, wait, no, I saw you do that. Never mind.
It's fine. It was underwater at that time.
Yes. You were in the pool, I get it.
Exactly. It was cold.
It was very cold. What is there anything I can help you find in the Cloud Giant District? This is all... I don't know, cloud giants are all big into families. So the Galoraford family is the reigning power here. So everyone is going to have some connection or association with that family, at least here in the Cloud Giant District.
Well, I would like to speak to the attendants at the palace.
Oh, going right to the top. Oh, okay.
Right to the top, I think, is the best way to deal with these things. We have some manner of pull with giants.
Okay. Well, it's the building that's really, really big over there. It's hard to miss. So let's, okay.
Just knock on the door, perhaps?
Yeah, not like that, but okay, yes. Do you have an announcer or someone who makes proclamations, titles, heraldry?
Could have a familiar do it.
Well, that might be a little problematic.
Prepare your asses.
Let's. You know what? I have a pretty booming voice. I can announce for us.
Okay. So she will go up and kind of, you go up the first set of stairs there, and then you get to another raised platform that goes up to more stairs that go actually up. And there is a platinum bell that hangs about 10 feet off the ground with a long silver cord that dangles just over the floor. And she walks up to it and says, ready?
Hold.
Okay.
Hold. I'm going to ask everyone. Would you like for me to announce you, or do you have something you want me to announce you as?
I'm still not sure why we're here. So,
I figured. So here's my thoughts. We don't know. This city is somewhat dangerous. We've been told not to gamble. We've been told not to make deals unless we are very sure with who we're dealing.
No, you shouldn't do that either. Deals are fine, just don't gamble. The Merits are atrocious with it, and the Cloud Giants are even worse.
So no gambling. But we have some amount of pull with the Giants, at least, given our relationship to the Wormskull Throne. If they are in good standing with Queen Sarissa, then they will at least be obliged to give us the time of day. And with that, perhaps they would have not. The Cloud Giants love collecting weird things, if I remember correctly, or unique things. They might have a lead on where we could find a dragon turtle. But also, I kind of just wanted to say hi to some giants. So,
yeah. Well, do we have a gift for them? And when I say gift, I mean, like, I know the type of creatures who like just interesting things, like literally open up the portable hole. I imagine you just might find something.
We have tons of stuff. That's a great call.
And you two roll me intelligence.
Okay.
Or intelligence history.
Sure.
You've got
famously great at those. Advantage, perfect.
You said intelligence history?
Yep. Hey!
That's unlikely.
So you both kind of recall, Cloud Giants they value skill and trickery and kind of cunning. It's part of their patron deity thing, but everything that connotates status and station for Cloud Giants comes down to wealth. Staggering, opulent, incredibly over-the-top wealth. Is their preferred thing. And for example, one of the best things that a Cloud Giant can do in their mind is to give a gift to somebody that is less valuable than it is. So then, I'll give it to you. I give you a cheap gift, but it looks outwardly impressive. Everyone out there says, oh my gosh, that improves your station a little bit and mine an awful lot. And then we both know it's cheap, but you can't say anything because your station would then be reduced by, admitting it was a shitty gift. So they're
interesting.
That's hilarious.
Yes,
they are fun.
They're very caught up in it. It's also why they're hard for gambling, like super into it. Often will gamble more than they have their children pick it up, kind of a thing.
Okay.
They have feuds that last thousands of years, just over famous bets.
Well, we obviously have some wealth we can throw around if we want to in various gyms, but we also, I've found, have an excess of items. If we wanted to, we could dress up one of these items. Already magical, right? But I don't think anyone's using, say, this cloak of protection, something along those lines, and Perhaps we could give it some story about what we used it for. Actually,
They might love a dinner napkin.
exactly, right? But they'll love it if we wore it when we slayed Imerith.
Now I get it. Who's that?
That's cool. That's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I can wing an introduction. If you'll give me perhaps a moment. I know we're just standing on the doorway right now.
Can I ask Elia, as long as she's standing here, hey, is there anything I should know about like sacred animals or something you shouldn't hunt in the area? Like, is anything fair game?
Oh,
Before I go around asking about killing the wrong thing?
there's definitely some things you should absolutely not touch. Tasels.
Okay, cool.
Do not, it would be bad. You should not mess with it.
Don't even know what it is, so it probably won't come up, but I'll write it down now.
Picture, are you familiar with killer whales?
Yeah.
Okay, now imagine if there was a killer whale and a mermaid, and they made an angel baby together.
Okay.
That's what they are.
Weird, but okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We won't hunt those.
Yeah, you shouldn't. They are angels.
What about krakens?
Yeah, I have to go next.
Just in case.
They are territorial monsters that feud and lord over territory and get pushed back by the Padishah Empire when it befits their needs and purposes. Usually when there's something to profit from it, often enough they won't push them back, allow the kraken to eat some of the territory of rival, a noble, a duke, a whomever, and then once, a player is about to be taken out of the game, then they swoop in and rebuff them, and then the former territory is redistributed. Yeah, they're less likely to be, they're a piece of the puzzle.
Well, that's pleasant.
Out of curiosity, Uthal.
Or who you're negotiating with. They are absolutely not above allowing krakens to siege a homeland, destroy everyone in there, so that they can redistribute the territory or wealth as Victor see fit.
Good.
I think that the cloud giants are larger than
Huge.
Okay.
Larger
It
than me.
turns out that I can actually cast a spell called Enlarge Reduce. So if you wanted to be taller for this...
1 minute.
Huh? For 1 minute?
1 minute.
For 1 minute.
That is very kind of you. I think I will stay at my current station. I'm pretty used to craning the neck now.
Yeah.
But that is very kind offer. I
Yeah.
would take you up on it if I couldn't, and I'll go small. And then go back. If I couldn't do that, I would take you up. This seems
Amazing. Amazing.
But
Okay.
let's keep that in mind. I might
Yeah.
love that for one of these fights coming up. I would love to go very large if I could.
If there's a way I could get even more swole.
Exactly, if I could get more swole. I believe I'm ready to announce us if we're ready to ring the bell.
He is ready.
Get
as
all
anybody.
my robes are all pleated and
I'm sure you're
luminous.
quite resplendent. You're already looking the part. There.
She goes ahead and rings the bell. And when you do, you can see doors that are a good 40 feet tall and 30 feet wide, each split apart. And you see hard to make out the gender or even the race. It is covered in silks and wrappings that just seem to trail dozens of feet behind it. Bells, large rings and adornments, precious. There's like literal platinum rings with sapphires just set in a ringed cascade of mail, just covering this figure. And as they're approaching you, they're some form of giant, maybe a very large Goliath, a small half giant, something. They stand a good 10 feet tall, well built, but still somewhat slender. They kind of shimmy and sashay down all the way through these many, many steps. There's a side step on both sides that looks to be normal size humanoid capacity, and they use that Greeting. This one announce you to the family.
Ah. We are the Tuesday Knights, slayers of the doom of the desert, breakers of sweet shallows, killers of Ilhelvi, friends of giants, patrons of queens, and restorers of the Grey Cloak Hills, accompanied by the Lord of the Wild Hunt, the honored knight of Queen Sarissa of the Wormskull Throne, stealer of the thunder and the mind, he who is worthy of Valkyries, she who has faced death and returned in ash and fire.
Damn.
That's badass.
Inspiration?
Yeah.
I'll give you inspiration for that. He stops for a brief moment while he was noting that down, and you can see like this tiniest little thing as the eyebrow kind of pops up a little bit. One moment. And they slowly sashay up. You can hear many rings, this just chinkling of metal as they go up and up and up. They disappear, and the doors come to a close barely before they immediately are thrown back open again. And you can see a cloud giant step boldly through, taking very large steps, 2 at a time. I'm sorry. Did I just hear the Tuesday Knights are at our doorstep?
You did indeed.
Send them to the front. Don't make them wait, lad. Come. Join us and be well met. You are, and you can see it is a slightly older cloud giant, long gray hair, huge chunks of just gold rings that are about 3 foot across, braided in his hair, in his beard that goes down over here. You can see similar markings of gems that are kind of embedded into it. And every time he flashes his big beaming smile, it looks like his entire teeth were coated in mother of pearl or platinum. Just like a whole grill.
Wow.
Respect that. I am Uthal Stormmaker.
Yes, Knight of the Wormskull Throne.
Exactly.
You're welcome. Come. What brings you to the City of Glass? And as he's coming in, you can see the doors part open, and as he steps into it, you can see light begin to fill massive rooms, huge palaces. There is no end in sight for anything. As corridors go open into vast hallways, everything is covered in gold or platinum or precious gems. The floor you are walking on is marble it's like this clear layer of marble, which is very weird. Then there's something that moves like living smoke, embedded gemstones, and then veins of platinum and gold that are just wrought into it as though it were found in a mine or into a mountain. The columns supporting everything are free-floating, and they appear to be made of cloud or diamonds or both. They appear to be semi-intangible near the bases, but are entirely hard in the center and middle. Big, huge, fluted, very Romanesque columns, but veins of living, moving diamonds flow through them. There are chandeliers that are just precious gems that are self-illuminated, and they seem to float and kind of chirp and move along as the cadence of voice escalates and rises. So when the giants are speaking, the entire room moves and shimmers with light as it cascades around. And of course, everything being a precious metal or gem means it just reflects off of everything.
I'm going to lean over to Alice and ask, wonder what would happen if I were to cast Sunbeam in here? Would you just be blinded forever and all time? There's more shiny stuff in here than I have ever seen anywhere.
That would be funny. I dare you. No, I'm kidding.
This guy is carrying or gesturing you forward. Please. My name is Crocker. Please. Welcome. How can I... Why are you...
I understand. We came without much announcement.
Or fanfare. No, and I do understand that you cut your teeth by killing my kinsman, so I have to be just a little bit cautious. Obviously,
understandably
put
so.
blade to dragons. Good job there. All happy to hear about that. I have a great many tales to tell you about my own such exploits. There are a great many terrible sea monsters that have, well, they plague this land no longer thanks to yours truly.
That is in fact why we are here.
Oh,
We are here in part, in part to do some, shall we say, research on fighting sea creatures. We wanted to just get a bit of your expertise on the ways to dispatch
Tremendous
sea
expertise.
Have you? We are planning to fight something quite large, perhaps even ancient. Have you had any experience with dragon turtles?
It's a very oddly specific query. Myself, no, they're usually a bit more reclusive, and I don't find myself needing to stake out amongst trade routes or take a piss on the Dread Isle. So, not much for my kin. However, where is... Come on. No. Docra!
Can I?
Keep doing that for a minute.
Okay.
And then you can see that there is another cloud giant. She emerges from behind you from a side room, and she goes, "Yes, brother. Yes. Yes. Ender be pleased. Gods be kind." Dear sister, please. Tuesday night. This is, and you can see the woman perk up and, I'm sorry, what? Yes, the Tuesday nights are here. They want to know about turtles. You have the library, right? Do you want to show them the library about the turtles?
Among other
gigantic
sea
creatures is really
in
cool.
general.
Oh, well, that I guess makes a little bit more sense.
I mean, that is one of the most interesting things I've heard about.
I must change you all by having to deal with my brother. Please, let us be away. Thank you. I will. And everybody's like, no, but they're the Tuesday nights. And she's like, yes, brother, thank you.
This is fun.
Family always is. Please, thank you. Sorry. This way, try and keep up. We're going. And you can see she's kind of bustling her way through, and you spend a while, walking thousands of meters through very large hallways before you come up into an antechamber that is kind of just up, off, and overlooking the Coral District. So you can see out there are these huge, not even windows, they're just open air spaces that lead out, and you can poke your head over and just see this massive coral lake. There's water and there's coral in it, and you can see merfolk swimming around. It's quite beautiful. But from this vantage point, it has a kind of disconcerting perspective, wherein the whole thing takes on the effect of a koi pond, but they're, full of sentient creatures making a living.
It's fine. It's I'm not here to judge.
She comes up and she's like, okay, so, again, apologies. My name is Dakra. That was my brother. Sorry. But you said you were interested in large aquatic creatures?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
anticipate being in conflict with large aquatic creatures for some time, and we're not used to fighting in the sea.
Fair. There are difficulties there to overcome. Come along. And as she gestures, there is a chunk of the floor that just rises out with you guys on it. So it kind of moves you up to her about semi-shoulder level. And as she's going through, you're walking through stacks of books that are about 5 feet tall and a foot thick or two in places. And she's just looking and looking. I guess we can start here. Bisbin does have a lot of resources in this space. We can start with one of his folios. This one, I can never trust this little fellow. Well, we'll move past it. So she goes and she grabs a couple of these tomes and she starts laying them out on a massive. It is a table, but it doesn't have legs. It's just a floating marble platform that's just up a good 20 feet off the ground, seeming to float on clouds. And she moves your dais next to it, and then she begins laying out these massive tomes. What are you looking for? And then roll me investigation.
Someone maybe more adept than me wants to look for this. I will aid them. Vex, perhaps, can your keen eyes, if I flip the pages for you?
Sure. Also, I think we should be searching for transportation.
Great
Can imagine
call.
a large sleepy turtle. Might be tough to move.
How to drag.
Yes. Unless we can, and then, or we could hit two birds with one stone. If we can persuade it.
We're not fighting birds. We're fighting dragon turtles. I'm just kidding. I got over that a long time ago.
Obviously, you put that in there. So transportation of a unconscious turtle, and maybe as a separate role, trying to convince a large turtle to come back with us. So it could walk on its own power.
Yeah, I'll flip the pages. That's my aiding.
Yeah, advantage for investigation, Vex.
Investigation.
And then maybe for information on krakens, just to not look suspicious about.
That's fair.
Dragon turtles.
Sweet. So
we're pretty clear that we're fighting fighting krakens.
Yeah. So you have advantage. You can roll that again. Faye, go ahead and roll me for investigation for the same thing for the Crackalacken. Let's see, Vex. So dragon turtles are sentient creatures, right? They have wants, desires, urges. You can bargain with them. Usually they are territorial, a bit to a fault. They take a claim to something. It's a part of them. They almost see themselves as extensions of the water or the territory. This is theirs and they're going to claim it. Appeals to their pride or ways in which they might grow and amass their power, like a... if this option, right, the course of action you're pursuing, right, if you were to do this, you might amass wealth and power by serving a powerful empress, kind of a vibe, is a tack you might try. Certainly not the worst one. Getting them to move is difficult. That would talk about their own power. Once you're in the water, technically you don't need much to get going. Right? You just need a little bit. It's just very slow. So if it's unconscious, you just need a big enough boat and a long enough time. It'll get there eventually.
Okay.
Faster boats might do that more. Also, teleportation magic. Though creatures who are unwilling would potentially have to make a save.
Unconscious?
Unconscious would still mean, so it would always get a save. It would either have to, the way teleportation works is either you're willing or you're making a save. Poison, you can apply magical effects that would numb the mental faculties. You can discourage, right? If unconscious, you are generally going to not be succeeding on a lot of things anyways. So there are methods to kind of push in that direction and help your odds. Similarly, you would need, like, if you're going to haul something like this, right, you would need heavy fucking duty, like adamantine manacles and chains, and like in no small quantity, right? Like you're trying to find a living mountain. However, since you are here in this particular patient, as you're flipping through this, Draco will also tell you, these are all very difficult ways. They're very complicated and troubling. I mean, you could always use the way they always hate here.
Huh? Genie?
If you can trap the creature in a containment vessel, then you just use the vessel, get to where you need to go.
Okay.
Oh.
What did you think I was saying?
Oh, no.
Outside of here, I should mention, Jin's merits of free Dao, and the whole lot of them, take profound umbrage to anything relating to that kind of incarceration. You might find that hypocritical, what with their rampant collections of living slaves, but don't bring that up.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So if you had some way to like hold onto them and like, just shove them into a lamp, then you could, take them to where you wanted to go that way as well. Again, don't out of the lamp or whatever in front of a married empress. That would.
So if we did decide to go that route, we would want to perhaps free it somewhere outside of the city.
Oh, well, I mean, given... Wait, are you trying to bring
No
giant monster into the city?
Not this city.
Enough
City?
times of bringing any monsters into any cities.
Probably.
Believe me, there is a whole thing with the kraken. Did you know where?
For fanfare? I understand. The slayer of the worm brings the head on. Yes, no, I'm familiar with some of your barbaric traditions. That would make sense. You would bring the creature out a bit removed so that there would be a long way, giving you suitable. I don't even know what the other word I was trying to put out there.
Adequate?
Yeah, suitable. No, fuck. You will have a big, strong... There will be a bunch of people there cheering your names on the way in. Fanfare will help your cause, thus elevating you to stuff. Words are difficult.
Oh, yes, they are.
With a 9... you find you have spent a lot of time reading about giant mollusks and tentacled creatures, and you make it a very far way. A lot of it, you have to do the translations. You have to get Udal's help because a lot of it's some giant. But it takes a very long way before you realize a lot of it is actually about the preparation of like smoked and grilled octopus. It sounds like it would be delicious, but less directly applicable to hunting a leviathan.
Well.
But you are probably a bit hungry.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We could go get some food after this. Well, Dakra, we thank you for Dakra. We thank you for your hospitality and the knowledge we have gained here. It is small, but we would like to present you with this gift. And I'll take out the cloak of protection. I know it's tiny.
He looks at you very quizzically. Napkins. No, thank you. We have many.
This, you may be interested as a keeper of lore that this is a cloak of protection that we wore when we slayed the dragon Imerith, the doom of the desert.
You see the hand, like she's trying to be like cool, but the hand is starting to move towards you in like a covetous sort of fashion. Sorry, Imerith, the one who deposed King Hecaton.
Yes, when we slayed her with the help of the storm giants, as ordered by Queen Sarissa of the Wormskull Throne. Well, I guess she was Princess Sarissa at the time.
Be a lovely.
I thought it would be a nice touch to your. I'll hand it over. Of course.
Like tucking it.
Is this like their personal residence, or is this like a library that might be accessible to us?
No, this is the house. This is the palace of the ruling Sky Yogis. They do have a library because they, of course, value knowledge as a way to flaunt their excess material wealth.
Mm-hmm.
But this is their crib.
Okay.
It is okay if the answer is no, and very acceptable. While we are here in the city for some time, would it be all right if we were to stop by and peruse the library more?
Yes, as long as you had, one of the things you hear.
Of course. Well, thank you very much. You've been very kind to us, Dakra.
Of course. Are you? Do you have to leave?
No, I just wanted to. We might continue some research now.
Of course.
Just wanted to say that we're not, just mooching off of you. We like exchanging knowledge for gifts. But yeah, I'll poke around. I'm gonna actually look up like giant history more than the sea monster stuff. Sure. If they have something maybe personal to their giant history.
Only intelligence history. You have a reason why you have advantage. Actually, you have inspiration, so you may use that.
I'll save it for when I'm in danger.
There's a lot about this family. Many of their great exploits. A lot of Croker talking about how great he is fighting creatures of the deep, pounding aboleths and the like, and other malevolent forces. A lot of self-aggrandizing stuff. But when you start looking into things beyond this family, like there's a lot of records that go way back, but it's still very centric to this family. So it's like these things happened, and here's where we were great at it. Or we made this deal, and that won this sky castle that was lost by our grandfather 6 generations ago, and then right, like it's less helpful for you because it's entirely myopic in focus.
Understandable. All right. Well, this is a place we can return to, obviously, but since you read that recipe, Faye, I'm slightly peckish.
Yeah, up until then, could have taken it or leave it, but now sounds pretty good.
I expect they'll have some good seafood here. I'm not entirely certain if that's, just a misconception on my part, but
we should go find out.
We should go find out.
Elliot will chime in. No, it's very good. Quite.
Someone just reached
Elliot,
out
do you read Giant?
Huh?
Do you read Giant?
Elliot?
Yeah.
It's a great question. Yeah.
Oh, well, good. For next time,
it's not my best, but it is one of many languages I had to learn.
Oh. For next time, we come visit the library.
She is happy to escort you out. Coker is there kind of by the antechamber of the entrance, seemingly talking to another male cloud giant. You can overhear him hurriedly explaining, Tuesday nights, Queen Sarissa, some other things, trying to fight monsters. I fought bigger monsters, things like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
When was the last time somebody was happy to see us, you guys?
It's been a minute. Yes,
It's
it has been a
exciting.
minute. And not comically so, but ironically, we did kill some cloud giants. So of people to have some problems with this, they could have had some problems. That's why I mentioned lead with perhaps the dragon. They would have some vested interest in the death of.
Cool.
And all it costs us was a cloak of protection that we don't use.
Literally was the bottom of the bag. You find yourself among quiet streets against a placid canal. They're mermaids, and it's beautiful necklaces of pearls and coral and charms. Very
Seashell
lovely.
bikinis?
Yes, absolutely. If you want the full aerial, they will hook you up.
Signal hoppers?
Yes. You find yourself in a lovely place enjoying wonderful food.
This is a nice beachside property.
Are you guys at Tuesday nights?
Oh, no.
Yes, we are, obviously. We can't hide here. We just announced ourselves very loudly in the Cloud Giant District.
Deepest condolences and apologies. The Lady Sensori has posted a most pleasant offer. 250,000 gold pieces for your heads.